Fish and Chums!
Hi everybody, Gary Heydrich here for this week's Fish and Chums. I missed out last week. We had a little tragedy in my family, and had quite a few emails and people asking about my sidekick Tuffy, who turned 17 here recently, just a little over a week ago. Well, after his 17th birthday, a couple of days, Tuffy passed away. And so I want to talk just a little bit about Tuffy today because he was such a wonderful fishing buddy. So we'll be doing a little tribute to Tuffy, but hey, we've got some pretty good fishing reports for you as well. You know, they may be not catching numbers at times, but some real quality fish are showing up. Some nice smallmouth at Table Rock. Bull Shoals, some nice bass are being caught. And over at Stockton and Truman, the crappie fishing is really good. Pretty good trout fishing at Lake Taneycomo too. Okay, let's talk about Tuffy. I had him for 17 years. What a fishing buddy. You know, one thing about Tuffy, if you picked up a rod and reel, he made a mad dash to the boat. He knew we were going fishing. And over the years, we fished many different states, well over 30 states. I took him into Mexico one time and Canada one time. That little boy has had quite a fishing career. But he would like to watch me. He would watch my rod tip. Loved to crappie fish. Oh, that was his favorite, crappie fishing. And when we were crappie fishing, he'd be watching my rod tip. And when I set that hook, he knew. And he was right over the bow of the boat looking and looking for that fish. And he would growl just a little bit. And he'd get so excited. I'd bring that crappie in the boat, and he had to kiss it at least 3 or 4 times. Then he would make a mad dash to the back of the bass boat, and I always had the lid of my live well up. And he would go right to that live well and look down and look at me, and then I would pitch that crappie from the bow of the boat to the back of the boat, and 99% of the time I'd hit that live well. Then he'd stick his head down in the live well and check the fish, and then run all the way back up to the bow of the boat and wait for the next hook up. Gosh, he loved to crappie fish. You know, at least 3 times when I've been crappie fishing with jigs, I've hooked a big bass or a big walleye, and he'd get so impatient while I was bringing that fish in, he would jump in the water. He'd get so excited. So then I'd have to get my net and net Tuffy and then net the fish. He was a fishing crazy puppy. He just loved to go fishing. And over the years, my gosh, we've been to so many different states and so many different lakes and streams. Gosh, I miss that guy. I really miss him. He passed away out on the Colorado River. In fact, the day that he passed away, I took him fishing. I knew he was real bad, and he really wanted to go fishing bad. So took him out fishing for a couple hours and caught a few smallmouth bass. Come back, and he just wanted to lay in the sun. Then I had my boat tied to the dock, and I noticed he couldn't walk very good. He kept trying to walk down to the dock. I'd pick him up and hold him, put him down a little bit, here he'd go. This happened about 3 or 4 times, so it finally got it in my thick skull that he wanted to go down to the dock in the boat. So I took him down to the boat, held him in the sunshine, and in about 10 minutes he passed away. And he's buried right on the edge of the river here. Gosh, I miss that Tuffy. He slept with me, he walked with me, he watched TV with me, and fished and fished and fished. My gosh, I miss that boy. Okay, a good little tribute to Tuffy. All right, let's go on and do a little quick fishing report out at Table Rock. Water temperature is around 68, 70 degrees. You know, it's been cool and had some rain and so forth. The smallmouth bass fishing has been good. Some people have been dragging 1/4 ounce football jigs, 1/2 ounce as well, dragging them off the sand points and so forth, secondary points. Some people are doing some top water fishing in the morning and evening hours. Seems like spooks as good as bait as anything. And they've been picking up some fish around some of the docks with jigs as well. And they're still picking up some deep water fish on drop shots. And don't overlook that Ned rig. I've had some real good reports on Ned rigs at Table Rock. Hey, let's go over to Lake Taneycomo right quick. They've been releasing some water. And when they're releasing water, drift fishing, it seems like orange or white power eggs have been working, sometimes pink. And they've been using some spoons, using some Cleo spoons. And by the way, look at this photo. This young man fishing about 3 days ago at Lake Taneycomo, and this kid picked up an 11-pound rainbow trout. Congratulations. On 4-pound test, too. Congratulations, that's quite a fish. And by the way, they've been picking up some real quality fish. And for you fly fishermen, I've heard a lot of browns are moving down towards the dam. So Taneycomo looks good for the upcoming weekend. When they're not releasing water, go to those small jigs, 32nd ounce jigs. Brown, cinnamon, been working, olive green. Check this out. Over at Shoals Lake, had some pretty good reports. Some nice size fish were caught. Sometimes you don't catch the numbers, but spinner baits have been working. By the way, spinner baits have been working over at Table Rock as well, especially on windy days up against that windy bank. And Bull Shoals, spinner baits have been working, some topwater fishing. It seems like buzz baits have been pretty consistent at Bull Shoals, some spooks, a variety of topwater baits, some pop-Rs. So topwater fishing can be good at Bull Shoals, and then go to the spinner baits again on the points, secondary points, especially if they have some wind blowing up against them. Watch for little schools of shad. Boy, I tell you what, if you can't get a topwater bite, slow roll that spinner bait under these schools of shad. You might pick yourself up a nice bass. Had some fair reports on walleye. It slowed down a little bit according to my reports, but you're still picking up a few walleye at Bull Shoals on the points. Over at Stockton Lake, they've been picking up some nice crappie. Boy, I tell you what, some real nice fish. They've been catching crappie back in the creek arms. I've had reports from 10 to 12 feet, anywhere from 10 to 20 feet. So experiment on your depth. Just use a 16th ounce crappie jig. Put a little color to it. Seems like the hot pink's been working. Of course, chartreuse is always good, but the hot pink's been working with a nice little shiner, and just kind of experiment on your depth. Boy, some of the boys are really catching some nice crappie out at Stockton. By the way, they're still picking up some walleye at Stockton. They've been trolling deep diving baits, and they've been picking up some fish on jig and night crawler. Seems like just use a half a night crawler, again, like maybe on an 1/8 ounce jig head. Chartreuse has been good. 1/8 ounce jig head, use a half a night crawler, work the point. Sometimes those fish are up shallow, sometimes they're down around 12, 15, 18 feet of water. Experiment on your depth. Out at Truman Lake, boy, they're definitely going on their summer pattern back in the creek arms, experimenting on your depth, just like Stockton. They've been picking up some fish in 10 to 12 feet of water. Some people are going 18 feet. In fact, out at Osage Bluff Marina the other day, look at Kim. Look at this beautiful, beautiful crappie she caught, over 2.5 pounds. Kim, that was a dandy. So some nice crappie can be caught at Truman right now. And below the dam, I've had some reports of some walleye being caught the last few days as well. A little spotty, but they are picking up a few. Bass fishing has been good. Square-billed crankbaits at Truman, and by the way, at Stockton as well. Square-billed crankbaits have been working good, and they've been picking up some fish on spinnerbaits. And so check out Truman. That could be good the upcoming weekend. But some nice fish at times. Some nice crappie are being caught there. Well, once again, I miss my buddy Tuffy. Kind of hard on the old heart to do this program. Always, held him. Always loved to hold him here while I'm doing the show. And sometimes he'd look right at the camera. He knew what was going on. I love you, Tuffy. I miss you. And thank you for joining us. And we'll be back next week at the same time. Be sure to like and share. And be sure to subscribe. We'll be here all winter, on and off, giving you some of these quick reports. God bless you all. Happy outdoors. And if you'd like to send any photos or information, just go to our Gmail at fishingchums@gmail.com. And don't forget to subscribe. Thanks for tuning in today. Bye.